So let's take a look at the stories, and we have my guests for the morning, the Member of Parliament for Efutu, Alex Afinyo-Makin. And thanks for joining me, Alex. How are you? And also George Lowe is North Dine Member of Parliament. And thanks for joining me, sir. Okay, on the front page of the Daily Graphic, we have CHRAJ boss still in hotel, spent 160,000 on bills from August to November 17, and we seem to be still on the case of the CHRAJ boss. And Ms. Lamte is yet also to respond to 2 petitions submitted to the office of the President and forwarded to the Chief Justice, to which she was expected to respond by November 14, 2014, and all these being uncovered by the Daily Graphic. They initially also responded or reported the issue, and I have to start with you, Alex. We still haven't found a solution to having accommodation for the CHRAJ boss.
Hold on. I'm very saddened this morning. We have a problem in this country. Impunity has become the order of the day. That people can do things very repugnant to good conscience and still find a way of justifying sin. I am happy that this story is being done by Graphic, a very credible newspaper, not any private newspaper that somebody could even read political meanings and all that. That there's an issue with using state funds to, lodge in a hotel. And people are, there's this public outcry that, look, it's not right. Yet still, the person still lives there. And, well, nobody has any power to take a decision. CHRAJ, they do not have a board. There are no commissioners who can sit. The Attorney General cannot look at the Constitution and make certain intervention. And we are still there, and the person is there. And whatever debt that is being incurred, the states would have to take it up. And the poor Gary seller, tomato seller, Baba, would have to pay 17.5% on petrol, so that government, after taking that money, would go and pay the hotel. Because that hotel, they would issue an invoice, raise an invoice. And if CHRAJ does not pay, they would take it to court. When it becomes a judgment debt, the ultimate liability is on government. So you ask, if Ghanaians are enduring all these hardships because government claims that it needs money to develop, and all that they see is that, look, after all, such monies, when government take them, they don't use them judiciously. Rather, it is subjected to abuse and waste. Instead of they buying a gallon of petrol at 10 cedis, when the world market price has come down, and all over the world, governments are reducing petrol prices, and Ghana, it's rather been increased, and we are paying 16 cedis for a gallon of petrol. Somebody decides to live in a hotel. In any event, is there no official accommodation for his office, or for her office? And wasn't somebody living there prior to her appointment? If so, what renovation at all is it that is required to enable her get in there? And how much would it cost? Let's get serious. I'm very disappointed. That's all that I can say.
Great disappointment from Alex Afinyo-Makin.
Well, let me say a good morning to our cherished viewers. I think that, in fairness to all of us, I think that is not the best of news to say that a state official, for that matter, is still occupying a suite of a hotel at obviously great cost to the state. I agree with my brother that, it will be as a charge on the state eventually, even though the money possibly will be taken out of CHRAJ's allocation, but it is still money being taken from the consolidated fund. I would have wished my brother to just stick to the issues. He's a lawyer. He knows all the constitutional issues involved. Rather than go on the floor and go political. This has nothing to do with fuel prices. In fact, he's even been inaccurate by saying that governments all over the world are reducing petrol. He should show me one state that has reduced petrol. In West Africa, Ghana is still the cheapest in terms of fuel, S-pump. Go and find out. It's there. So let's get serious. I disagree that the CHRAJ boss should still be in a hotel. But you see, and he talks about the Attorney General not finding something within the Constitution. I don't know if my brother wants the Attorney General to go and reinvent the Constitution or put her own. The Constitution is clear about how CHRAJ is handled. It's an independent constitutional body. The processes has been done. The President had a duty to receive a petition and take it to the Chief Justice. He has so done. The onus lies on the Chief Justice to do her part of the deal. From what I read from the papers, she hasn't even replied to the petition. That is the CHRAJ boss. This is where we must begin to show that in this country we really mean what we mean. I'm amazed that these are things that are not attracted attention of the Occupy where Occupy there, Occupy everywhere. It hasn't attracted the attention of our vociferous religious leaders who think that people who say all sorts of things. I believe that this country, I always say that the thing that is killing us is not corruption, it is hypocrisy. Once we eschew hypocrisy and we want the best for this nation, all these issues will be dealt with. I would encourage, I will call on all of us to ensure that the Chief Justice does a part of the bargain. What is it? She's been petitioned. She should look at the petition. Has she found anything untoward? She should deal with the CHRAJ boss according to the dictates of the Constitution. And that will resolve the problem. Beyond that, I would suggest, for instance, that administratively, even though the Constitution says you cannot touch them, administratively, I would suggest that the Minister of Finance should look at how best to resolve this issue, because they eventually have to release some service money, budgetary allocation to CHRAJ, and they should insist that they don't use it to service this exorbitant hotel. And then, of course, luckily for us, they will be coming, I believe. I don't know, do they come for special budget?
For hearing,
special and
they will meet the committee.
Committee of special budget to look at their budget and approve it for the following year. I think that the issue of this hotel bill should be taken up at that level.
But the point is, we're told that they needed just a little in excess of 180,000 to do a rehabilitation of the official bungalow of a CHRAJ boss, which the last time we're told was left by Professor Emil Short. And just from August to now, some 161,000 is still being paid for hotel bill. I'm sure as we're talking now, it's still running. As a quasi-judicial body, who should do the questioning, and who, beyond the subject of what the interests of the political parties and civil society agencies will be?
Well, the questioning of the conduct of CHRAJ as an institution and the conduct of its
chief executive
or the commissioner, apart from those of us in the general public that have an interest, Parliament as an institution, constitutionally has a mandate to subject all their actions and whatnot to scrutiny. So I would not be surprised if during the budget hearing the Special Budget Committee takes this matter up seriously. But you see, my worry is that government is overstating, that constitutional provision that talks about the process for disciplinary action or processes of sacking or getting the person to resign. Government of Ghana has the power, and I'm not saying that government should be arbitrary in the exercise of such power. But you can sit somebody down and talk to the person one-on-one. Why? Yesterday, for instance, I was watching Al Jazeera. The U.S. Defense Secretary has resigned. Okay? They had a nice press conference. President Obama said very beautiful things about the man. You know, the man said good things and all that. But behind closed doors, the journalist knew, and everybody, any political watcher, analyst, knew that, look, certain things were not going well. There were some feelings. This ISIL thing in Iraq, the ISIS thing in Iraq, American public have a strong opinion against the Defense Secretary's leadership. So they have a way of dealing with this. Look, guy, this thing is not going well. You leave the scene. You can resign. The facts are very clear, and it is not a private newspaper publishing that somebody will say, oh, they have a political interest or something like that. It's graphic. That is coming out with such revelations. And is government still saying that, look, it cannot sit down with the Attorney General. The CHRAJ boss is so powerful that the woman says, as for me, I'm not going to resign. I have my justification. So government cannot do anything. I'm not urging government to act unconstitutionally. I'm not saying that. But I feel strongly that the Attorney General can put a proposal before this CHRAJ boss. Government of Ghana, led by the president, can call this woman to order in a very mature way. And if this woman really has the interest of Ghana at heart, she would do the appropriate thing. Now, the next point, Chief Justice. I know that our Chief Justice is a very proactive person. So I will be surprised. You know, initially we were told the Chief Justice had received a certain directive from the presidency to act on a petition, or the petition has been forwarded. Let me put it properly. The presidency had forwarded the petition to the Chief Justice's office for a perusal. You know, there was a statement from the Judicial Secretary that at the time the Chief Justice had not received. So let's take the discussion a bit further. Has the CJ really received the petition? That I don't know. Because if the CJ has received the petition and to date has decided not to act, I would find it a bit. I'll find it a bit surprising. That why? What is delaying? Because I remember even after the presidential petition, and there were certain issues being raised, and this Vicky Hammer tape came up quickly. A body was put in place to look into the matter, you know, and it was headed, I think, by Prophet Datiba, right? Who, one of the retired justices of the Supreme Court, looked into the matter. So I do not think that it is the Chief Justice who has received a petition and refusing to act, thereby enabling the woman to still remain in a hotel at the expense of the state. Now, my last point, I did underscore that, look, at the end of the day, the taxpayer is the one who suffers. Is that not so? So if my brother says that I'm being political, I do not see the point he's trying to. There is this overriding matter in this, and that is wherever the state will get the money from would be from the state, the people. So you cannot run away from that.
George,
it's an ordinary man on the street who will pay for it.
How can the president perhaps impress on the CHRAJ boss to either go out of the hotel and go lodge at her official residence at a place which is not ready in the first place. We're told it is under rehabilitation in many respects.
Thank you very much, Roland. You see, when we come to deal with issues, the moment we want to mix the issues, we lose track of the fine arguments, and that is what we are doing. Look, we have a constitution.
And the constitution,
the people of Ghana has given themselves a constitution. The constitution has set out clearly how these things should be handled. Yes, I agree with him. Appeal to good conscience. My brother Afenyo Martin cannot be sitting here and pretending that he knows what happens behind. He doesn't, whether he knows or not, whether some real gesture has been extended and this thing has been discussed. But hey, also, just like the Chief Justice, the Constitution has given the woman a secure term of office. And that unless and until certain things are done, she cannot be removed. Okay? So that is point one. Nobody should delude themselves into thinking that somebody can coerce. If she doesn't want to resign, nobody can coerce her to resign. And in actual fact, I would not even be happy for people to be coerced to resign. It is undemocratic.
And unconstitutional.
And unconstitutional. I believe that the constitution that we have given ourselves must be left to work. The president had a duty to do, he did.
Okay.
And as I sit here, I can confirm
but
that.
You are aware.
Please, yes, I can confirm that petition has been forwarded.
But you are aware, in many respects, and in more developed societies, public opinion and how the ratings of public opinion tend to influence the behavior patterns of even top state officials and even heads of government and the decisions they even take.
Please, let's be very. You see, that's why I'm saying that this matters.
There could be issues of constitution and non-constitutionality or legality.
When the issue came up, how many people didn't say the woman must resign? What was public opinion? Public opinion was that she must resign.
Public opinion?
Yes, and I'm saying that you can only ask her to, or you cannot ask her to resign because it's coercion. Rather, if public opinion, looking at the tide of public opinion, she, as an individual, sits down and think that, look, my integrity is very important to me, and I think that by resigning, I preserve that credibility and integrity, I will so resign. If she still insists that, look, I don't believe that I've done anything wrong, and hey, whatever I'm doing, I think is within my constitutional right.
The remits of the law.
The remits of the law within my constitutional right. She's aware that the constitution protects her. What I'm saying is that in that same constitution, we are being told that if we are unhappy about something, we would have to investigate it. And if we establish some anomaly, any wrongdoing, the Chief Justice is the one who should kickstart the process. And
so far she's not responded to the petition. So far she hasn't,
and I'm saying that I understand that even the woman herself has not even responded to it. So now it's in the remit of the Chief Justice. I don't see any Attorney General going to sit anywhere with her saying, please resign. It doesn't work that way. In other parts, you are talking about, like you were talking about the defense, the man has resigned. He himself has resigned, whether through discussion or not. What we are told is that he has decided that he's had enough of that office and he wants to move on.
Okay.
So let's not belabor that point and be pretending that something
goes against public opinion. That's an action ongoing in which, well, whether it could be the allocation of CHRAJ is being used or being dispensed on hotel accommodation, for which public opinion may be against it. We should still let it continue. Because it is within the remit of the constitution.
You see, Roland, that is the position. No, I mean, I didn't even finish when
you have established a position.
He had several. He made like 8 or 9 points. I didn't even finish, and then you start, look, one.
But if you are making 2 points in 10 minutes, and I make 8 points in 2 minutes, why must you?
My real worry let
have
all of us understand that state money is state money, state funds is state funds. It is. I can imagine what would have happened if it were Afenyo Martin, who was a deputy minister or a presidential staffer, who was living in a hotel. This country would have had 2,000 demonstrations. You understand? If it were some other person, we would have had all sorts of reactions. But again, the only disappointment I have is that we still haven't reopened that argument where I believe that the state itself must begin to look at structures. Why must tomorrow a new DC is appointed? He moves out of Bangalore that was possibly renovated 2 years ago. Then they do another renovation. A state officer,
John,
we should begin. If we hadn't done that,
I asked a question.
We may not be where we are.
The public opinion is against an action of a constitutional quasi-judicial body, which is protected by the Constitution. Of course, the way its rudiments, etc., are established are by the Constitution. But still, if public opinion is against it, public opinion is against it. It doesn't mean that forcibly the person needs to take an action which will be detriment to what the Constitution says. But public opinion is public opinion, Alex.
Roland, I'll give you a little example. What happened in Burkina Faso? They had a constitution.
Yes.
But
actually, what they did was unconstitutional.
Sure. But you see, the constitution emanates from the people. It is the people's power that is put in that coded, that body, that book, and says that this is the way we want things to go. But of course, when things are being done in a manner that the people strongly feel that, hey, no, yes, we've put in there, but you have corrupted those structures. They are so broken down that they cannot function. At least certain interventions are made. I am saying here this morning that don't let us dwell so much on constitution. I agree. Let's follow the. However, much as we are following certain constitutional procedures to draw the attention of the woman that what she is doing is wrong, we must equally listen to public opinion and put a stop to those hotel bills that are still being paid. And it will be the liability of the poor taxpayer. Don't let us divert and find justifications. Because look, at the end of the day, government would have to pay. That hotel would issue an invoice. The invoice will be forwarded to CHRAJ. It will not matter whether, is the woman who is there. He said the invoice will be in the name of CHRAJ.
What do you think should be done? Who should take what action? Not necessarily an action, but who should be doing the persuasion on the sideline?
Government, CHRAJ, or the Attorney General should have written to the hotel, that look, that's
not due process. What you're suggesting?
Oh, Roland, if CHRAJ, the boss, is supposed to know better, she doesn't want to, according to what my brother is saying, good conscience, she herself must come to the realization that I can't continue to live in a hotel and expect the poor taxpayer to pay. Her justification is that my official residence is not ready. Now, government is also not looking for any government property for her to live in as a temporary thing. So she's still in a hotel. Right. Should we continue to pay? Why do you think Graphic brought this publication again today? Because Graphic still finds it repugnant to good conscience that a poor country like Ghana, where people are still being overburdened with tax, with the little that government gets. And look, when you look at, for instance, the budget, even 2015 budget, and all these discussions with IMF, the talk has always been over expenditure.
Reduce public expenditure.
Discipline your fiscal policies. How does government discipline itself? How does government reshape its fiscal policy? Some of these things are part of it. If you are living in a hotel, $180,000 or Ghana cedi, and it increases by the day, can't it build a school? Somebody sent me a text yesterday, a WhatsApp, a picture, Winnipeg Government Hospital, the maternity ward, and the women, the female ward. The main door to the ward, is so broken. Mosquitoes, there are no nets, everything. Mosquitoes are just entering. So you are there, you are being treated for malaria.
Right, the hospital administrator, they don't have the budget to support all the mosquito nets?
I am letting you know some small problems. Please.
Are some not management issues,
Please. If where they have health insurance, over 90% of your clients are using health insurance, you are not being paid on time. You have IGF. Because of health insurance. They are not getting IGF.
This
when I want to they are very relevant.
You tell me that
I am giving you.
You tell me that we are talking about CHRAJ boss.
Roland,
if we are talking about health insurance, let's deal with
Roland.
I mean,
Roland,
otherwise,
let me
we all
land.
must have equal time to be able to
George, I am making my analysis. Let me land. We are talking about CHRAJ. We are talking about public funds. We are talking about an external body telling the government of Ghana to discipline itself and reform. I'm telling you that the inability of government to take action, to take a decision on the continuous payment of this hotel bill would have an effect on government. It will have an effect on the poor taxpayer. I've given you an example. Where in my own concern, somebody has just forwarded this to me that people are suffering. Look, if you are spending so much on hotel,
I can give you 1,000.
Go ahead and give your 1,001 example.
That, look,
there's no problem.
Let's not miss the point. The point you are making. Listen, the point you are making is
people need. There are still schools and the trees.
Please,
let me finish.
We know
Can
all
I
those
finish?
things. What I'm saying that we are dealing with
an issue that will.
No.
Let me finish.
No, it's not heckling. But Roland, I think that you are not being fair in this.
He is not to stop me. Let me finish my point. Please.
Because otherwise,
when you were talking, you are the only one who has been heckling here. When you were talking, I kept quiet. So let me finish.
No, but Roland, when I was making my point earlier,
when you
stopped me because you thought that it was.
No, when you were making your point, I sat down quietly. When you were talking, I sat down quietly and listened to you. So sit down quietly, listen to me. When I finish, there's time you can talk. Please. Let's assume that I'm diverting.
Because there are more interesting things.
No problem. Roland, there are still schools under trees. This government has been complaining that its revenue is not sufficient.
What's that got to do with CHRAJ?
Yes. We shouldn't abuse, we shouldn't waste.
Okay, your point is made.
But Roland, you see, why I tried stopping my brother was that.
Don't say you try, make your own point.
It's neither here nor there.
Why?
So make your own point.
You think all those points about...
the first point...
About judicial use of state resources
the first point we all made was that, you see, state resources should not be abused. And we made that point nicely.
But for now, it's been abused.
But you see, that is why I said that, luckily for us, this issue has come up again. Down the week, in fact, today we are starting the debate on the budget. In about a week and a half, the budget will need to be approved because every state sector must bring their budget for approval. We will deal with this matter there. And indeed, if they find some culpability,
well, the last time you dealt with it, but malfeasance and misuse and misapplication of public funds is still ongoing.
Roland. Even here, this company, I'm sure if we did some forensic audit, you will find misapplication. So don't go there. Listen.
It's a human institution.
Yes.
But the point is that is why you put in the checks. You have the internal audit systems and structures.
You see, you are talking as though we live in a small island called Ghana. Ghana is part of the global, and there is nowhere. Yesterday, I was just looking at certain debt to
GDP ratio.
And I was amazed that even professors of economics will come and be saying Ghana is hippie and things. What about a US who has a debt to GDP ratio 104%? UK has 87%. Why are they not being called hippie? But let's come back to this. So some of this, I said, if the hypocrisy doesn't stop in this country, we will not move forward. The reality on the ground is that we all disagree that our state official, even if for free, should live in a hotel. It doesn't speak well of us. You understand? Living in a hotel itself.
Now you are saying because the constitution protects the institution to do this and that, it's normal. There's nothing can be done about it.
Roland,
yes,
please. There have been issues even with our Chief Justice in the past. Okay? But the constitution protects her and so she's still at post. There's an issue with CHRAJ. Incidentally, one of the things we shouldn't lose sight of that, the kind of things we are saying today, it is a CHRAJ boss who should be leading that charge. Unfortunately for us, she has found herself on the spot. But I would have said that if she were willing to resign, all the better. But so far as she is the only person who can decide to resign or not, and nobody can force her, really, we will not be doing anything. What we should be doing really is that, look, we have myriads of problems. I do not agree at all that where we can make savings, we shouldn't make savings. You understand? I agree that public opinion may not hold sway because at the close of the day, public opinion will come up.
But the constitution.
But I find it even more exciting, more intrigued that my friend is making a correlation between Burkina Faso and here. Burkina Faso, the difference is that in Burkina Faso, the constitution that they're giving themselves, there was an attempt to tinker with that constitution. And that is why they went out there like that. So, in actual fact, they were stopping the thinking of the Constitution. Over here, we are trying to uphold the Constitution.
Let us change the subject.
So,
now,
please, no, Roland, please. I told you, you gave him all the time. So, let me also finish. Over here, we are trying to uphold our Constitution. And we are saying that in a democracy, it's very important the way we handle our issues.
So, that's your last point.
So, no, Roland, that is being, I thought you were going to be unfair. And you see, you have started it.
I have an LP. Let me just read the LP.
Yeah, no, over here, we are enjoined by the Constitution. The president swore to protect this Constitution.
Your point is made.
And so the president is only keeping up with the Constitution.
Multi-TV mobile